Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. Today is just going to be a little bit of an update video on what I've been doing here in the LEGO Studio, things I'm planning to work on, because what ends up happening is I come down here and I will work on some stuff and I'll do a bunch of little things and think through some stuff and look up this, look up that, and I don't really document all of that stuff because, this is still like my hobby, and I really do enjoy sharing stuff with you, but there's some things that end up happening where I think, should I be recording this right now? Is this interesting? Is this useful? And quite honestly, sometimes I don't know, and sometimes it feels like it's not significant enough to make like a video out of it. And there's other times where I go, you know what, I can't, if I think about having to film everything, I'm going to lose the interest in the hobby itself, which I think hopefully that makes sense. So we're just going to do an update, and I'm going to kind of talk about a little bit of what I have planned and what we're going to start to work on moving forward here in the LEGO Studio. So let's get into it. First thing that we need to talk about is our castle mock. So, if you watched any of the previous castle mock videos, I'll link those up here somewhere. We are working on our first sort of building for our giant castle mock that I had talked about going over here, okay? And I have not touched it. I have thought about it. I have looked at it. I've sort of studied it, right? This is the sort of the cellar, which is the start of our wizard tower. That is this building right here. And it's a start. And I was ready to work on the next level. And I've just not had... the creative juices just haven't been flowing enough for me to dive into it recently. And that's just the way that is. That's just what happens, and that's just, just the way it goes. I still want to be working on this. However, because I've been kind of struggling with it, I've been still wanting to build and look at other things, and so we've been doing a lot more of the Can We Build It series. And we've, looking through our bulk collection, and all those videos will be up there as well, if you haven't checked those out. And we've also been doing some looks at some vintage castle sets. There's the Dark Forest Fortress that I did a build and review video on that I picked up from a Bricks and Minifigs. I have decided to make some adjustments. I also found an alt modular build that just came out not too long ago on Rebrickable that is for the Lion Knight's castle. And it looks really, really cool, and it made me want to build this again. Now, I picked up a second Lion Knight's castle. I know, I don't have a problem. It's okay. I picked up a second Lion Knight's castle during Black Friday. It was like a 30% off deal when they were doing, I think it was 30% off or 20, I don't know. It was a screaming deal. Plus I had a bunch of insider points to spend, and I mean, this is the castle right now that LEGO has. And it's gorgeous, and I love it, and it makes me feel like nostalgic and all of that kind of stuff. So I decided, I was like, I can't let this one, we'll pick up another copy of it because there's so many great parts in it, so many great minifigs. And I was thinking I would definitely be using a lot of those minifigs in this castle mock, which probably will end up happening at some point. However, because I did find these modular instructions, which I was not intending to, that has sort of shifted. It's kind of rolled this domino effect from, with the combination of that happening, plus me feeling like not as creative I don't know, not finding the juices, I guess, to work on this recently and sort of transform this whole area to this giant castle mock I have in my head. It feels really daunting and overwhelming, and I also don't want to stress about it because it's Lego and it should be fun. So I've decided I will continue to work on this when the mood strikes, because the reality is like right now I'm just kind of working off of this base plate. So it's not like I'm taking up a bunch of space over here yet. I can continue to kind of work on it and just have it sit here. So this will get worked on, but there just might not be as many of these update videos coming in the near future. I know I said that there would be, and I was trying to use that as like, I was trying to use that as motivation. And, but you know what? I'm not going to put that pressure on myself because, yeah, I don't know. So I think in the meantime, I'm going to sort of use this opportunity to create a little bit of a scene here with that alt build, somehow tie this part in as well, and then also maybe just like make some stories with some of these minifigs that we have and kind of maybe tackle it that way, kind of keep it a little bit more relaxed and not as polished, and just sort of, I think that might help me sort of get some more ideas, get the creative juices sort of flowing for my own mock building, and also still transform this area, because it's just kind of insane like this. And I don't know, I've thought it would be cool to do something else with this in the meantime, and I think that alt build is going to be really good. So that kind of snowballed some things. The other thing that I've been really wanting to do after building that was, these are two old base plates from my childhood for the King, oh man, I don't remember the name of it. I'll put it up here. A castle and another, the Dragon Breathing Fortress, I think it was called. And so I want to display the old sets along with the medieval market square, the old sets. I want to display them up here. And I also have some of the Viking sets up here, and I want to display those as well. Now, I only have so much space in here, and so I took down the office set that was up there. I've actually had to bag that up, and that is now in my storage. And it will come back out at some point when we have a little bit more room, or I decide to maybe change some of this up. But for right now, with what I want to display and sort of this journey, it just doesn't really fit in here. So along with that, the yellow house. This was sort of, I made this and I built, so I built this and I made the video on it. That'll be up here too if you haven't checked that out. This is just sort of a little, look into starting to mock things and do some greebling and try out some weird, wacky stuff, because this house is freaky and weird and, totally bizarre. But it was just sort of be able to just splash a bunch of ideas, basically just dump the paint can, right, of yellow Lego parts into this house. And while it's really nice and fun, and I'm really glad how it turned out, it ultimately fulfilled its purpose. And I don't think I really necessarily want to display it. I don't love it that much. It was, it was research, it was learning, and it was an experiment. And I think it's come to the end of its need. I have a video, that I can always look back and rewatch, kind of taking a look at it. So that's always there, and that makes me feel a little bit better about taking it apart, because ultimately it's nice, but I see all the flaws and whatever. So I think I'm just going to kind of part this back out, and I just honestly don't have the room for it. And I need to be very, very conscious about what I want to display. And And yeah, that's just not it. So I'm going to part this out, and I'm going to do another video. I'll probably do more videos on building these up. That will probably go into like building up my childhood sets, which I've started a series on that. That'll also be up here too. And so my thought then is that what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide the Viking stuff, and that's going to sit probably over here. And then all of the vintage castle sets will go up here. And this will remain kind of the pirates area. And then down here, we will create our little scene. And maybe even what I'll do is introduce some of these characters that I've decided on for our mock build. Maybe we'll end up putting some of their stories in here. And then I'll do another video on that build, that alt build. I may even do a live stream of that. I'm not sure, but yeah, so that's sort of my plan, is to just sort of, I don't know. It's just it's a little bit of a pivot, but again, this is a hobby. It's supposed to be enjoyed. It's not supposed to be stressful. And so this will happen. I'm very, very convinced. I love what I have in mind for this. But right now, I think it's best to kind of do this version of it. Another thing that I was working on is I ended up moving some of this storage. So this is storage for some of my like vehicle parts and instructions and things. And I ended up moving, this is all extra brick. I ended up moving, well, this is all extra 2x brick, I should say. I ended up moving all of the extra 2x brick into here from in here to give it more space, because some of these drawers are getting absolutely packed to the gills with parts, and I'm having to more and more, pull some of those colors of specific parts and, get them into here. These are all extras. I go over sort of how I do all this in another video, and I'll link that up there for you as well. So yeah, it's just getting very, very full. And so I need to figure out stuff, because keep in mind, all that back there is all bulk Lego that needs to get processed. And I still want to do that because that's really, really enjoyable. So anyway, there's lots of little projects I'm working on. I'm still working on some can we build it type of stuff. I've moved a couple things around here in these drawers and, doing some rearranging, and nothing super crazy. I have some thoughts on shifting around some parts in these drawers, but I haven't really done any of that yet. And I don't know if I'm going to, but if I do, that'll be a separate video as well. But yeah, that's, I think you're pretty much caught up to where I'm at with this update. So I know that I just did like a massive brain dump. I just started to say all of the things, and maybe it was a lot of information. I don't know. But honestly, it really helped me sort of talk through it out loud on what my plans are, and it made me feel really, really good about the plans. Like, I had been thinking about them, but I hadn't really like expressed them out loud, and so it felt really good to do that, because it sort of reiterated to me that all of these things that I'm doing are the things that are exciting me right now and that I'm enjoying. And again, that's the whole point. And I live stream full time. This channel has been such a joy to sort of document this Lego collecting journey that is still very new, and I've just really enjoyed it. And I know that so many of you have also enjoyed it, and I really appreciate you watching all these videos. And I'm not trying to like overproduce any of this stuff. I'm trying to keep it very simple and enjoyable because I don't want to stress myself out with making these videos. I want them to be fun, and I want that to come through when I make them. And instead of trying to, I don't know, I'm just doing the things that I would do in here as it comes and as I enjoy it and as it happens, instead of trying to force anything, because I think that will I think it's going to ruin the hobby. I don't want to take away from my enjoyment of it. While I am a content creator and I enjoy making content for things, and yes, I could just be doing this hobby without filming any of this, but I'm finding it cathartic and enjoyable. So, and I'm really grateful that a lot of you are as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one, whatever that may be. But until then, remember, keep on building. Jim out!